Hey friend, I am back with another nap time video. So today we are talking about where the heck do you sell digital products? I've noticed that any little question can stop someone from even starting selling digital products. So I want to make sure that this is not a question. If you've been wondering, should you sell on Etsy, Stand Store, Shopify, Beacons, AI? Like if you've been wondering where to sell your digital products and that is what's holding you back from actually starting, we are going to talk about all of that in depth today so you won't have any more questions about where to sell your digital products. If you're new to me, my name is Lucretia. I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom and I've been selling digital products for probably like 5 years now. I've been selling on Etsy, I've sold on Shopify, I have an online course through Systeme IO, which I promote on social media, I run Facebook ads. I've done all the things to try to figure out how to make the most amount of money with the least amount of effort and the least amount of time, because most of the time I work when my kids are sleeping. And so I have very limited time to make money online. And so if you're in a similar position where you don't have a lot of time to work on your side hustle, but you want it to actually make some money for you, then I'm going to be sharing my experiences on these different platforms and these different ways of selling. When it comes to selling digital products, there are two places to sell your products. You can sell on a marketplace or you can sell on a storefront. And so let's talk about marketplaces. Marketplaces are things like Etsy, Teachers Pay Teachers, Creative Fabrica, Creative Market. Those are marketplaces. A marketplace is a platform that hosts many sellers, so they have a lot of sellers on them and they have built-in traffic. So with Etsy, they are most popular with digital products, handmade goods, vintage goods, personalized things for like gifts. So that is what Etsy is popular for. That's where I've been selling since 2022. I'm a top 3% Etsy seller now. And I find that it works really well when you're a complete beginner to digital products and you don't want to post on social media every day to make money. Another marketplace is Teachers Pay Teachers, and this is popular with people in the educational space. So I usually will go to Teachers Pay Teachers to get like educational printables. So like my daughter's in kindergarten, so I will get like worksheets for her, just like letter tracing things so she can work on her letter sounds. So if you plan on selling educational items, Teachers Pay Teachers would be a good option for you. Although Etsy also has a lot of educational printables as well. So let's hop into the benefits of selling on a marketplace. The first benefit is that there is already built-in traffic. So there's no need for you to be posting on social media every day. You don't have to pay for ads. The platform already has the traffic. And so if someone goes to Etsy.com, Etsy is going to be promoting products from Etsy sellers. And so you don't have to worry about driving your own traffic to make sales on Etsy. So that's one of the major benefits of a marketplace, is that they already have built-in traffic. The second benefit of a marketplace is that it's really easy to set up. The website is already set up. You're just opening a shop on someone else's website. So Etsy is already set up. Teachers Pay Teachers is already set up. You're just setting up your little corner on their platform. And then the third benefit of selling on a marketplace is the trust factor. And so buyers already trust the platform. So just think of how many Etsy commercials you've seen. So people are already familiar with the Etsy platform. And so it's easier to make sales. They don't feel as nervous or as scared to give over their credit card information because they trust this platform. They know that it's on TV. They're seeing ads for Etsy. And so people already trust that this platform is safe. So it's going to be easier for you to make sales because there's not going to be that friction of, is this a legit company? And are they going to steal my information? So when someone goes to Etsy, they already trust them as a company. And so it's going to be easier for you to start making money quickly. So now let's talk about some of the cons or the drawbacks of selling on a marketplace. So one of the cons of selling on a marketplace is that you're going to have higher fees. So you'll have listing fees, transaction fees, payment processing fees. And I like to look at that as just a part of running the business. They are paying millions of dollars in marketing fees. And so of course they're going to charge me for all of the effort that they're putting into marketing my products for me. So the more people that Etsy can bring to their platform is better for all of us, because that's more people that can buy our products. And so I don't really care about the fees, because I would rather pay, whatever 30 cents or however much the fees are. It's really not that much. And so I'd rather pay those fees instead of trying to make TikTok videos 3 times a day while my kids are home with me all day. Like that just sounds crazy to me. That sounds like a lot of work that I'm just not willing to do right now. I would rather pay the fees so that I can get my time back. So that's con number one, are the fees. Con number two is the competition. There's going to be a lot of competition on these platforms, but there are ways to stand out. And so if you look at my YouTube channel, I have multiple videos giving you low competition product ideas that are going to help you stand out and make sales quickly. So there are definitely ways to stand out on marketplaces, but they are going to be more competitive than if you have a shop, like a Shopify shop, and it's just all your products. Like that's the only option, is for them to buy from you. Unfortunately, on a marketplace like Etsy or Teachers Pay Teachers, you're going to be surrounded by competition. So the buyer has multiple options. And then the third con of selling on a marketplace is going to be that you have less control over your branding, how you design your shop, the customer experience. All of that is not really going to be within your control. So like with Etsy, the customer can send you messages, but some people don't even know that they can message you. They'll just message Etsy directly. They don't know that they can message individual sellers. And so things like that can make it a little more difficult selling on a marketplace, because you don't have as much control over your customer experience. And so people may leave you a negative review because they didn't know how to get in contact with you. So those are marketplaces. Let's move on to storefronts. So these are going to be things like Shopify, Stand Store, Beacons. So a storefront is a customizable standalone website. So it's your own business, it's your website where you can sell your products directly to the customer. So some benefits of selling on a storefront is that you have full control. So you get to control every aspect of your website, your colors, your branding, the customer experience. You control all of that, running your sales, everything. So if you are wanting something where you have full control over it, like even the domain name, like what people type in, so like www.etsy.com, that's a domain. So like when we're selling on Etsy, we're Etsy.com, like that's what we are. And then we have our store name in there, but it's Etsy.com. But with your storefront, you are selling whatever you want your business to be called. So like I'm Digital Biz Bestie. So if I had a storefront, I could be like www.digitalbizbestie.com/shop. So it would be my personal website where people would have to type that in to find me. The second benefit of selling on a storefront instead of a marketplace is that there are less fees. So most of the time you're just going to pay whatever the monthly fee is. And so like, let's say Shopify, I think it's like $29 or $39. Beacons is like $10 a month. Stand Store is like $29 or $39 a month. So you would just pay that monthly fee. And so I guess that's kind of a pro and a con, because even if you're not making any money, you still have to pay that monthly fee. But you pay the monthly fee, and then after that, it's just processing fees for whenever, or transaction fees for whenever you make a sale. So you do pay less fees, but you also have a monthly payment that you have to pay whether you make sales or not. So that was, I guess, another good thing about selling on somewhere like Etsy, is that there's no monthly fee. Like you just get charged when you make a sale. But on places like Shopify, Stand Store, Beacons, you're going to have to pay that monthly fee every single month, no matter if you're making sales or not. And then the third benefit of selling on a storefront instead of a marketplace is that you can scale it up and keep making money. When I had my Shopify store, they had the main product they would put in their cart, and then I was like, hey, you could add these 3 products to your cart and you can get them for 20% off for the next 10 minutes. So then they add those 3 products. So now their order just went from like a $17 order to a $47 order. And then I'm like, okay, hey, so I noticed you got all of these things. So you can go ahead and add this other similar product to your cart. And for the next 10 minutes, you can get it for 50% off. So they add that product to their cart. And so before you know it, like a $17 order has turned into like a $100 order, which on Etsy and other marketplaces, you don't have that capability. So like on Etsy, they're just going to put the products in their cart and that's what they buy. Like I can't keep offering them more and more products. So that's a way to make more money with a storefront that you cannot do on a marketplace. So you can make a lot more money with the storefront than you can on a marketplace. So now let's move on to the cons of selling on a storefront. So one of the cons is that you have to drive your own traffic. Nobody is going to know that your storefront exists. Nobody's going to know about your Shopify. Nobody's going to know about your Stand Store or your Beacons. No one's going to know until you tell people. So you have to figure out how to get the word out about your store. And I like to compare like the store fronts and the marketplaces. The marketplace is like putting your product in Walmart or Target. People already know about these big companies. They're just going to go to Walmart and they're going to be walking down the aisle and they're like, oh, this is new. Okay, let me try that. That is what it's like to sell on a marketplace. You're just adding your product to a reputable brand, like somewhere that people are already going, they already know about it. You're just putting your product in there. That's what it's like to sell on a marketplace. When you're selling with a storefront, that's going to be like creating your own boutique. So there's this big city, you've opened this new boutique. So now you have to design it yourself. You have to fill it up with products. You have to get the word out. So you're running commercials, you're doing ads on the radio or wherever else, you're running Facebook ads. You have to get the word out or no one's going to know that this boutique exists. So that's what it's like with the storefront. Unless you are posting on social media or running ads, making YouTube videos, whatever it is, you have to be the one to get the word out so that people know that your products even exist. If you're not willing to do what it takes to drive traffic to your own shop, then just stick with the marketplace because you're not going to make any money if no one knows that your Shopify even exists or if no one knows that your Stand store even exists. With a storefront, you do not have the built-in trust factor that a marketplace has. Like people know Etsy, they see them on TV, they're familiar with it. People already know and trust Etsy. People do not already know and trust www.amazingdigitalproducts.com. We don't know you. Why should I give you my credit card information? How do I know you're not going to steal my information and steal my identity? That's another thing you need to consider with your storefronts. Like we don't trust you, we don't know you. So that's another con, I guess, is that you have to build up the trust so that people actually feel comfortable enough to give you their payment information. Con number one is you have to drive your own traffic and you possibly may not make any sales for months and months and months. Con number two is that people do not trust you. You do not have the built-in trust factor, so you have to build that up. Con number three is the initial setup. And oh my goodness, when I had my Shopify store, it was a hot mess. Like you have to set it all up, get your designs, your branding, and then the site speed. My site was loading super slow. And so I wasn't making any sales because it was taking like the cart wouldn't even load so people could pay. So I had to hire somebody to fix my site speed. It was just a lot. You have to be willing to set all of this up either yourself or you need to have the funds to hire somebody to do it for you. And then another con is the cost. Like I said earlier, you're going to have to pay that monthly fee whether you make sales or not. So even like, let's say, I think Shopify might be $39 a month now. So if you make $17 for the entire month, you didn't make any money. Like you lost money basically because now the $17 you made by selling a product, you need to give that to Shopify plus whatever else to make, whatever, 39 minus 17, you need to pay all that to Shopify. So like you're going to have to pay that monthly fee whether you make sales or not. They're going to take the monthly fee out of they're going to auto draft it out of your account, whether you are making sales in your Shopify store, your Stand store, wherever, whether you're making sales or not, they're going to take their money every month. Okay, so which one is right for you? A marketplace or a storefront? So who should sell on marketplaces? For one, people like me who have very limited time, and I know I'm not going to stay consistent posting on social media. I know I'm not going to post on social media every day. I know I'm not going to make YouTube videos once a week or however many times they say to make them. I just know I'm not going to do those things. And that's why I chose Etsy, because I can go weeks without touching my Etsy shop and I still make sales every day. If you have very limited time, then definitely start on a marketplace. If you are a complete beginner and you already feel overwhelmed, then start on a marketplace. And I recommend Etsy. If you want to focus on creating products without worrying about learning sales funnels and social media marketing, email marketing, how to run ads. If you just want to focus on how to even make digital products, then just start on Etsy. Now, who should sell on a storefront? So if you're like, I'm excited to post on social media, like I want to make TikTok videos, I want to be on Instagram, I love doing stories, then definitely have a storefront because you can make way more money with a storefront than you will on a marketplace, but it's going to be more work from you. A storefront is for people who want full control over their brand, over their customer experience. You want to personalize your shop to make it look like you. That is for you. If you want full control over all of that, then you'll definitely want a storefront. Or if you already have a business and you're just adding digital products into the business, then you'd probably want to go the storefront route because people already know you. So it's not going to be too hard for you to drive traffic there because you already have an audience. So basically, who should sell on a storefront and who should sell on a marketplace? It just comes down to, are you willing to drive your own traffic? So are you willing to drive your own traffic? Yes, then a storefront. Are you willing to drive your own traffic? No, then a marketplace. Okay, so to wrap this up, you're not going to post consistently on social media. Just stick with Etsy. That's my recommendation. I have a free Etsy starter guide in the description that tells you exactly how to get started. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll chat with you soon.